the weather didn't cooperate. The spirit and the light of everyone here, I think, heated up the afternoon, which is really important to me. You know, I saw my mom and my dad after 54 years in perfect union. I've often said this, I didn't have to look any further than the dining room table for my role model. I always wanted to honor my parents. I always wanted to realize my dream, too.
Marcus Allen was a football star for Lincoln High School in San Diego.
I was a defensive player. Loved to hit people.
One time he made one game, 49 tackles.
But they needed a quarterback, and coach wanted him to play quarterback, and he really didn't want to.
I went under center as instructed, and I fumbled the ball, I think it was maybe 8 times in a row. And I did it on purpose, and he knew I did it on purpose, and so he kicked me off the team, which was shocking to me because I was the best player on the team, potentially the best player in San Diego. I wanted my father to raise some hell and say, "Are you crazy? Who do you think you are? What do you think you're doing?" And my dad didn't do that at all.
He wanted me to go up there and beat up the coach. I said, no. You got to be a team player.
Allen returned to the team. His senior season, he played defensive back and also quarterback. Lincoln won the county finals, and he scored all 5 of the team's touchdowns. The performance earned him a scholarship to USC and a trip to the Waldorf Astoria in New York City.
It was a Hertz #1 award for the most outstanding performance, and I represented the state of California. OJ was the Hertz spokesperson, and he was one of my favorite players of all time. When he walked into the room, he said, "Where's the young man that's going to USC?" And that was me. For a 18-year-old kid going to USC, meeting probably the greatest Trojan of all time, it was great.
After leaving Lincoln, where he played both ways, Allen was unsure where he'd play at USC.
Well, it depends. I think I like try to win the Heisman if I play an offensive position, but I'm trying to go into college and get me a degree.
He was going to be a defensive back, and he was going to be a part of our group, having Dennis Smith, having Joey Browner, and possibly Marcus Allen. That would have been a great secondary.
But tailback, not defensive back, was the position USC was famous for.
Tailback was the position I really cared the most about. There was a tradition of greatness at that position and a responsibility that went with it. I was kind of always conspiring to find the next tailback, and I kind of had Ronnie in the back of my mind as maybe moving in that position.
But Coach Robinson was swayed by one of his first conversations with Allen.
About 3 days into our practice, he was standing in the lobby where we have the Heisman trophies of past players, and he was kind of staring at it.
I said, it's going to be hard to win a Heisman playing defensive back, but I always wanted to win one. That was the interesting thing.
I made the right decision. I got Marcus on offense and Ronnie on defense.
Allen was moved to running back, but as the 190-pound sophomore fullback for number 12, senior Charles White.
He's the lead blocker. We're running the ball 30, 40 times a game. You would look at him and you would say, God, how is this guy taking this punishment? His nose broken, bruised up, and yet he never complained. He knew that there was a sacrifice to be made for this team.
With Allen at fullback, White ran for over 1,800 yards. USC did not lose a game, and White became the 3rd Trojan tailback to win the Heisman Trophy. The following year, for the first time in his life, Allen was a tailback.
No player figures to come under more scrutiny than Marcus Allen, the University of Southern California. Although he'll take the field as a virtual unknown, he has been asked to play the most glamorous role in college football, to be the tailback at USC. The guys out there have nicknamed him Little Juice because he reminds them of OJ.
Do you think it's fair to make comparisons?
Not really. But you have to stand, I think,
anytime you play in a position such as USC tailback, you're going to be compared to, I guess, the other great running backs. It's just, I guess it comes with the territory, so you're going to have to be prepared and be able to accept that.
If there was one of the former Trojan tailbacks that you would like to be associated with, just a little bit, who would that be?
Well, it's Juice. I mean, if I had Juice's speed, I'd be gone.
His junior season, Allen ran for over 1,500 yards, but was unable to break the long run.
There were a lot of times that Marcus Allen slipped in the hole or slipped making a cut, and the press got on him. And, it's not easy. I think the one that really got him was the LA Times said, does SC finally have an average tailback?
You're going to be able to control this football game.
Now, Marcus, in my view, is the most intelligent football player I've ever dealt with. He learned what it was he was doing.
I wasn't really trying to make plays, I think, my junior year. Sometimes to please the coaching staff, you do exactly what they say. They just want you to hit it up in there, and you miss opportunities. And then my senior year clicked. I got it. Now I wasn't just concerned with just running up in there hard. I was going to make plays. I was going to be a little bit rebellious and just do what I thought was necessary in the field.
He became the best cutback runner I've ever seen. I'd tell an assistant coach, give the ball to Marcus. don't throw the ball. Give the ball to Marcus. And we did.
His senior season, Allen shattered the college football record book. He became the first running back in history to run for over 2,000 yards.
The winner of the 1981 Heisman Trophy Award, Marcus Allen of the University of Southern California.
Probably the happiest day of my life right now. And this, I guess, an award that is very, very prestigious, and I guess I found my place in history now.
I remember calling home, talking to my mom. Mom, we did it. I said, let me talk to Dad. And she said, well, you can't talk right now. I said, why? He said, well, he's crying.
It was his dad who first convinced him to be a team player. It led to Allen accepting a new position in high school, then in college. Both times, he was ultimately rewarded with the highest individual honor he could win. Marcus was now a USC legend, but his LA story was only just beginning.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
We need a small business loan, fast.
I got this.
Loan Falcon!
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.